Toyota is often described as the most influential automobile manufacturer in modern history, a company whose philosophy, engineering discipline, and manufacturing innovations reshaped global transportation. Yet the story of Toyota is far more dramatic than most people realize. It begins not with cars, but with fabric. It begins in the late 19th century, during a period when Japan was struggling to modernize its industries in order to compete with the rapidly advancing West. This is a story of invention passed from father to son, of an unshakable national determination, and of a company that grew from a small wooden workshop into the largest automaker on Earth. In this video, we will explore Toyota's transformation from humble beginnings in textile machinery to an international automotive powerhouse that has repeatedly set global standards for reliability, efficiency, and production excellence. Along the way, we will uncover the challenges the company faced, including economic crises, post-war shortages, fierce global competition, and the pressure to innovate in an evolving technological world. Toyota's journey is, in many ways, a reflection of Japan's own modernization, a tale of resilience, creativity, discipline, and reinvention. Today, Toyota sells vehicles in more than 170 countries, operates dozens of factories across multiple continents, and produces over 10 million vehicles every year. But to understand how Toyota achieved this extraordinary success, we must first travel back to the 1800s, when the company's founder, Sakichi Toyoda, was not thinking about engines, but about looms, and how machines could improve life for ordinary people. The true origins of Toyota can be traced to Sakichi Toyoda, born in 1867 in rural Japan. Raised in a family of carpenters and weavers, Sakichi grew up observing the long, exhausting hours his mother spent operating manual looms. This experience left a deep impression on him. At a time when Japan was slowly industrializing, Sakichi became obsessed with the idea of creating machines that could improve everyday life and reduce physical labor. He spent his early 20s dismantling, studying, and rebuilding weaving equipment, often sleeping inside his workshop for days at a time. By 1891, Sa created his first improved manual loom, which significantly increased weaving speed and reduced thread loss. His natural talent for mechanical design led him to develop increasingly advanced machines. In 1896, he invented Japan's very first power-driven loom, which marked the country's transition toward mechanized textile production. This invention propelled him into national recognition, and, over the next 3 decades, he continued refining his designs. His most revolutionary creation arrived in 1924, the Toyota Automatic Loom Type G, a fully automated machine capable of stopping itself when a thread broke, a groundbreaking safety and efficiency feature. The loom was so advanced that the British company Platt Brothers purchased the rights to it for 100,000 British pounds, a massive sum at the time. Sakichi's intention was not merely profit but progress. Before his death in 1930, he encouraged his son Kiichiro to use that money to pursue what he believed would become the next major industry, automobiles. This pivotal decision would soon alter the future not only of the Toyota family but of the entire global automotive world. Kiichiro, Sakichi's son, inherited both his father's technical curiosity and his ambition to modernize Japan. After studying engineering and witnessing the rapid growth of the automotive industry in the United States and Europe, Kiichiro became convinced that Japan needed its own domestic car manufacturer. At the time, the Japanese market was dominated by imported vehicles, and local production was nearly non-existent. Automobiles were expensive luxury items, and there were significant doubts that a Japanese company could realistically compete with established Western makers. But Kiichiro believed in long-term vision over short-term profit. Using the funds obtained from selling the patent of Sakichi's automatic loom, he began researching internal combustion engines in the early 1930s. In 1933, the Toyota Automatic Loom Works officially created an automotive production division with Kiichiro as its head. Despite limited resources, Kiichiro and his small engineering team tirelessly studied foreign engines, acquired Western vehicles for reverse engineering, and experimented with various designs. In 1934, the company successfully produced its first engine, the Type A, a 3.4-liter straight-six based on a Chevrolet power plant but improved with Japanese engineering techniques. This milestone marked the beginning of Toyota's automotive capabilities and set the stage for their first passenger car. Kiichiro's leadership during these years established the company's fundamental philosophy: learn from the best, improve relentlessly, and always focus on long-term sustainability. In 1936, after years of experimentation and development, the Toyota team produced the company's first mass-production passenger car, the Model AA. While its design clearly drew inspiration from contemporary American sedans, particularly the Chrysler Airflow, the Model AA was an impressive achievement for a team building an automobile culture from scratch. The vehicle featured a streamlined body, a robust steel frame, and the Type A engine that Kiichiro's team had developed. The Model AA was a symbol of Japan's industrial progress and the country's determination to create globally competitive products. It marked the transition from a subsidiary division within a textile company into an emerging automobile manufacturer with real potential. As production expanded, the company recognized the need for a dedicated identity. This is when the decision was made to change the family name Toyota, written with 10 brushstrokes, into the more modern and visually balanced Toyota, which used 8 strokes, a number associated with good fortune in Japanese culture. The Model AA's release helped the company secure government contracts and gain exposure in civilian markets. Though production numbers were limited by today's standards, the Model AA established Toyota as a legitimate automotive maker and laid the foundation for everything that would follow. World War II dramatically halted Toyota's progress. During the conflict, the company shifted production toward trucks and military transports, and after the war, Japan faced devastation on an unprecedented scale. Factories were damaged, supply chains collapsed, and consumer purchasing power was nearly non-existent. Toyota struggled for survival during the late 1940s, enduring severe financial hardship. However, Kiichiro Toyota and his engineers refused to abandon the automotive dream. In 1947, Toyota introduced the SA model, a compact civilian car aimed at revitalizing the domestic automotive market. The company also restructured its operations to improve efficiency and cope with limited resources. Unfortunately, by 1949-1950, Toyota was on the brink of bankruptcy. Tensions rose within the company, eventually leading to a labor strike that forced Kiichiro to resign in 1950. His departure, though tragic for him personally, marked a turning point. It paved the way for the entry of Taiichi Ohno, the industrial mastermind who would later revolutionize global manufacturing. During this time, Toyota received assistance from American consultants who helped reorganize production methods. In 1950, Toyota also established a sales and marketing subsidiary, Toyota Motor Sales Co., enabling clearer communication between production and the marketplace. These reforms positioned the company for a dramatic resurgence in the coming decades. The 1960s marked the beginning of Toyota's remarkable international rise. As Japan's economy recovered, consumer demand for affordable, reliable cars grew rapidly. Toyota capitalized on this trend with models like the Crown and the Publica, which offered strong fuel economy and low maintenance costs. These characteristics soon became defining traits of the Toyota brand. In 1957, Toyota made a bold move by entering the American market, shipping the Crown to the United States. The initial results were disappointing. The Crown struggled with American highway speeds and consumer expectations. But instead of retreating, Toyota used this failure to learn. They studied American driving conditions, redesigned future models, and returned with vehicles far better suited to global markets. By the early 1970s, Toyota's emphasis on fuel efficiency positioned it perfectly for the global oil crisis. When fuel prices soared, Consumers worldwide began seeking economical cars, and Toyota had exactly what they needed. Models like the Corolla surged in popularity, eventually becoming the world's best-selling car of all time. Throughout the 1980s, Toyota expanded production overseas, opening plants in the United States and Europe. This global strategy reduced shipping costs, allowed faster adaptation to local markets, and transformed Toyota from a Japanese exporter into a true multinational manufacturer. One of Toyota's greatest contributions to modern industry is the Toyota Production System, TPS, developed primarily by Taiichi Ohno and E.G. Toyoda. Emerging during the post-war economic struggles, TPS was Toyota's answer to limited resources and the need for efficiency. Instead of relying on massive inventories like American factories of the time, Toyota implemented a just-in-time manufacturing approach, where parts were produced and delivered only when needed. This dramatically cut waste, reduced storage costs, and improved responsiveness. Another key principle was Jidoka, or automation with human oversight. Machines were designed to stop automatically when a defect was detected, ensuring that quality problems were identified at the source rather than after mass production. Over time, Toyota layered additional processes such as Kaizen, continuous improvement, and the Andon cord system, allowing any worker to halt production if an issue arose. The results were revolutionary. By the 1980s and 1990s, global manufacturers began studying and adopting Toyota's methods. Universities and business schools taught Toyota principles as models of industrial excellence. TPS not only propelled Toyota to the top of the automotive world, but also influenced sectors ranging from healthcare to software development. Toyota's reputation for unmatched reliability and minimal defect rates became central to its brand identity. As a result, demand increased worldwide, and models like the Camry and the Land Cruiser solidified Toyota's status as a market leader across multiple continents. As the automotive world entered the 1990s, Toyota shifted its focus toward advanced technology, safety, and environmental responsibility. Perhaps the most significant breakthrough came in 1997 with the launch of the Toyota Prius, the world's first mass-produced hybrid car. At a time when concerns about pollution and fuel consumption were growing, the Prius became a symbol of sustainable innovation and sparked a global movement toward hybrid and electric vehicles. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Toyota continued to expand its product lineup, entering the luxury market with Lexus, dominating the SUV segment with models like the RAV4 and Highlander, and strengthening its position in pickup trucks with the Tacoma and Tundra. Despite global competition, recalls, and market fluctuations, Toyota consistently remained one of the world's top automakers in terms of reliability, production, and sales. Today, Toyota invests heavily in hydrogen fuel cell technology, solid-state batteries, autonomous driving systems, and next-generation mobility solutions. Its manufacturing principles continue to influence companies worldwide, and its vehicles are known for combining durability, value, and advanced engineering. Toyota's evolution, from wooden looms to high-tech hybrid systems, represents over a century of engineering breakthroughs, adaptation, and commitment to quality. The story of Toyota is ultimately a story about transformation. What began as a small workshop dedicated to improving weaving machines grew into a global powerhouse that revolutionized mobility, manufacturing, and modern engineering. Through decades of challenges, from wartime shortages to global competition, Toyota prevailed not through luck, but through disciplined innovation, relentless improvement, and a philosophy centered on empowering people. From Sakichi Toyota's mechanical looms to Kiichiro's early engines, from the first Toyota Model AA to the hybrid revolution brought by the Prius, every era represents another chapter in a legacy built on problem-solving, courage, and vision. Today, Toyota continues to shape the future of transportation as it moves into electric mobility, autonomous technologies, and new sustainable energy solutions. As we look back over more than 100 years of history, the company's journey stands as one of the most remarkable transformations in industrial history, proving that with innovation, discipline, and purpose, a modest idea can evolve into a global legacy.